last time out. Things went very well. It was almost time for him to head to Japan, but he did a bit of web surfing to see if he could find out more about his dad's F1 past.
You raced a McLaren? Wait, you never raced a McLaren? In 1988 it was Prost and Senna. No, this isn't true.
Now it was time for him to put his mind to the upcoming race, as it's time for the Japanese Grand Prix. So, Buddy heads to Suzuka on a high after taking a podium in Sochi. He did kind of luck into it a little bit, but still it was a really good drive from him. So, the big question was, how could he top that? It was going to be tough to repeat the podium, but he could get some good points for the team. The Renault showed good pace in the practice sessions, and that translated to qualifying, as Buddy once again got into Q3. He qualified in 10th. So it was time for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's overcast but no rain expected at all for this race. A relief to Buddy, as rain has not really been his best friend this year. Obviously all the times he's missed out on Q3 because of rain. But it was going to be an interesting one. The tyres were behaving very interestingly, so his tyre strategy was going to be interesting. 2 stop is expected to be the norm for this race, but if that comes into play, the safety car, that could make things very interesting indeed. Once again, there were a lot of grid penalties which actually did promote Buddy up the order, so he starts higher than 10th on the grid. So, taking a look at the starting grid now, and after an interesting qualifying session, it was Hamilton who took pole ahead of Bottas in 2nd. In 3rd on the grid, we have Ricciardo ahead of Raikkonen in 4th for Ferrari. In 5th on the grid, we have Esteban Ocon with Buddy starting in 6th. Vettel and Verstappen further down the order due to penalties, with Leclerc and Van Dorn running out the top 10. Gasly starts 11th ahead of Ericsson, Stroll, with Carlos Sainz taking a grid penalty. Grosjean lines up in 15th ahead of Perez, both with grid penalties. Sirotkin, Hartley, Magnussen and Alonso, all with grid penalties. The scene was set for an interesting Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. So, Buddy lines up on the grid in P6, behind Ocon in 5th. He's got a couple of faster cars behind. They were going to be difficult to defend, but it was going to make the start interesting. He's going to have a bit of defending to do into the first corner. So he does one final burnout, and he lines up in the grid with 5 races to go. Can he close the gap to Perez in the driver's standings, and can Renault close the gap back to Force India in the driver's standings? So the rest of the grid is forming, and we are ready. We have the lights in Suzuka. Lights out, away we go. Buddy gets a decent start, but unexpectedly, Vettel gets alongside, now heading into the first corner. A little bit of contact there with the Sauber on the outside. I believe that was the clerk. He's trying to get round the outside, but Buddy's going to hold it round the outside. But he runs wide and it's lost the position. So not the start that he needed. He tried to hang it round the outside, but ran wide. And that allowed the Sauber of the clerk through. Now he's got Verstappen right behind. And now he's got some defending to do if he wants to keep that position. He locks up going into Degner, but he gets away with it. Now moving on to lap 2. And it was crucial that he was going to get past the clerk quickly. And he's going to dive it up the inside heading into the Casio triangle. And he has made that move stick. So Buddy quickly gains back that position that he lost at the start. But now, as you can see, he's got Verstappen right behind. And he's unfortunately not able to do much about the Red Bull driving past. Obviously, he's a Red Bull. So tricky for a Renault to fend off a Red Bull, even though the Red Bull's got a Renault engine. Right now in F1 it's a Honda engine, but in this game, because we're still in 2018 for this series, they have a Renault engine. So Buddy is into the pits for his first scheduled stop on lap 14. It was a reasonable stint that he did on the super soft tyre. But as he was one of the first to pit, he's now in a lot of traffic.
Only one stop to go, one stop left in this strategy.
Okay, Buddy, it's important that we clear these cars as soon as possible. The message was loud and clear, and he caught up to Hartley and dove up the inside, going into the hairpin. Great job, Buddy. Really good move.
Nice work, that brings you up to place.
So a nice move from Buddy. He didn't have much on-track work to do as everyone else pitted, so he was in 8th for the majority of his second stint on the soft tyres, and he was lapping well. So he comes into the pits on lap 33 for his second scheduled stop. This is for another set of the soft tyre.
Carlos is in the pits.
And he rejoins in 10th behind Alonso, who has yet to pit. So Buddy started to attack Alonso, but the race then took a turn. Okay, we have a safety car, Could we maybe think about pitting for super softs? We think track position is more important at this stage. Also, we don't have any more fresh sets of super softs. So strategically, to stay out was the best thing to do for Buddy. And it was going to be an interesting restart, because now he has been brought really close to Ocon. As you can see, the restart happens. There are some back markers going really slowly. Perez is trying to overtake. And then, I believe he actually hit the back of Sirotkin. I'm not sure what actually happened, but he disappeared nonetheless. As you can see, scrabbling for grip on the exit of turn 1 on the restart. But then he caught up to Verstappen.
Let's turn up the
okay, Verstappen has front wing damage, overtake him. As mentioned on the team radio, Verstappen does appear to be struggling with some form of damage. You can see he tries to defend going into Spoon, and he successfully managed it, but the understeer that he's dealing with, and he gets a good exit off of Spoon, and he's just able to drive past before 130R. So Buddy is up to P7. Now the question was, could he catch up to Ocon? He gave it a good go, but Ocon was just too fast. So he rounds the final chicane. Still, P7 is a reasonable, credible result for Buddy in Suzuka. Good drive,
Nice
Buddy.
work,
You
did
drove
well
well
today.
there.
I think the boss will
Was
be
a
happy
fun
with that
race,
one.
have to say. Doing a bit of overtaking. So a good result for Buddy in the end, finishing in P7. He scored in every race but one. As you can see, the Mercedes team celebrating. It's Lewis Hamilton who took the win in Suzuka. But it was a good result, as now Renault move further ahead of Haas. But they have lost a couple of points to Force India in their battle for fourth. Maybe that's starting to come a bit out of reach. But still, Buddy drove the best he could and got a solid points finish. The big question was, could he continue the momentum as Formula One heads stateside to the Circuit of the Americas?